Goes over your favorite dog. It sits on your back. It's good for a snack. It's log, log, log. It's log. It's log. It's big. It's heavy. It's wood. I know I screwed up the words. I haven't heard that in years. How are you all? I am doing fine. Doing fine. Hey, Therese. Hey, vet firefighter. Hellhound. Betty. Good to see you. Good to see you. I'm just driving to the park right now. Driving to the park. Any big stories or things you guys want to talk about? I did see there was another big Supreme Court win, 9-0. The Supreme Court uh, told the appeals court they do not get to unilaterally do a judicial review on the Board of Immigration Appeals. That those are primarily outside of their scope. So all those people who were taking their cases into federal court about their immigration status, yeah, that Supreme Court has said, no, you don't get to review that. You need other things, like you need to have some, like, where they've been brutal to you, or uh, like denied basic services. Uh, and for immigrants, basic services do not include, like, being able to talk to a lawyer. That is not a basic service extended to immigrants, because they are not considered a part of the people in the Constitution. Now, immigrants who are on a legal visa, they are, but that once that visa is rescinded, they are no longer a part of the people. And yeah, so I was reading that, and it was written by Ketanji Brown Jackson. So, when you get 9 justices on the Supreme Court to agree, you done screwed up. Too quiet. Prayers for the Hales. Yep, yep. Today is court day. I think they're going to end up fine. I think they're going to end up better than fine. Other thing, the D.C. Court of Appeals threw out a gun law that limited magazines to only 10 rounds. And that is a harbinger of what's to come. That shows you how much they got slapped down by the Supreme Court the last time in Heller. Was now the DC Court of Appeals is recognizing that, oh yeah, there's no basis to limit uh, gun magazines, and they don't want to be embarrassed by the Supreme Court again. But the good thing for pro-gun people like myself, people who believe that, yeah, a 30-round magazine is standard. The good thing for us is because now we have 2 separate appeals courts that have disagreed on that issue. The ninth said, "Oh yeah, you can absolutely limit these." Now you have DC who has said no, and we also have a case that has been ended for that. So it's no longer an interlocutory appeal. Interlocutory appeal means the case is going on. It's a final case. So what that means is when you have a split between the appeals courts, then it's the Supreme Court's job to take it up. So we might actually get a magazine uh, limitation case in front of the Supreme Court this term. And there's already two major uh, cases about guns in front of the Supreme Court. One has already been argued. The decision could come out at any time, and that's on the sensitive places issue, the Hawaii's uh, vampire, um, yeah, Hawaii's vampire law, which is you can't bring your gun into a public place unless the owner of that public place has specifically given you. So it's like you're a vampire. You can't come in unless invited, which that's not at all how the founding fathers envisioned that. There were limitations as to where you could take your guns at the time of the founding, but they were clear. It was courts, polling places, and schools. So like, or no, it wasn't schools. The courts, polling places, but there was one more. I forget what it was. Um, and in those places where you can't bring guns, the Supreme Court has indicated that they have to have armed security, like robust armed security. So you can't just say, "Oh, you can't take a gun into a park." Same thing. They were trying to do that with churches. No, churches should have armed security, or yeah, people there armed, as we've already seen, because it's a target. Um, so um, the chances of us getting a case in front of the Supreme Court on magazine bans is now very, very good. I would expect it. Um, we'll see if they pick one up. The only thing is that this would put it in the very later of the arguments, meaning we're not going to get a decision until June or probably July. Um, but yeah, like chances of us getting it now here shortly, very good, very good. Um, Trying to think what else is going on. So yeah, those were a couple things I wanted to talk about. I find it ironic. A lot of these lawmakers who are against uh, us bombing Iran wanted us to send ground troops into Ukraine. And I said that this morning, and I've had people already disagreeing with me. And it's like I've got articles on it. Chris Coons was the one big time talking about it back in 2004, and so yeah, it's funny how a lot of these people. And it's not like a lot of them are on the left, but it's not just the left. Like Lindsey Graham wanted us to send ground troops into Ukraine, and that would have been such a mistake. I don't even want ground troops in Iran, but that would be less of a mistake than Ukraine. With Ukraine, there's no strategic advantage. There none whatsoever with us with ground troops in Ukraine. It's would only serve to escalate. And I kind of feel the same thing about ground troops in Iran. Now, if other Muslim countries want to send their ground troops, that I fully support. Why would you send daughters to Israel? When people pretend to be crazy, meet someone pretending to be normal. Yeah, so no ground troops in Iran. Just it doesn't strategically, like, air superiority absolutely makes sense. Absolutely makes sense. Bombing absolutely makes sense. Ground troops, no. I am very happy about our U.S. Navy, though. They're out there getting some, showing that, oh, ship to ship warfare, we're still the best. We haven't seen real ship to ship warfare since the Falklands War. That's an interesting study too, if you get a chance to study it. I went on, oh man, that was probably a year and a half ago. I went on the History Homos podcast, and we did a case study on the Falklands War. So that was That was a good time. Good time. Pull this seat up. It's sitting way too back. Trolls are strong today. Just hit repeat. Yeah, I mean, they can come in and troll all they want. Doesn't bother me. They're not right. So, go ahead and troll. I had a troll jump in my DMs yesterday. It was really funny. So now here's the thing. Here's the thing about when people come to you wanting to debate. You don't have to engage. You don't have to engage, and you definitely, if you do, you don't have to do it on their terms. And that's what was happening with me yesterday. I showed it to my one buddy, and he was like, "Holy shit, you're making this guy lose his mind." I go, "Yeah, he thought he was going to do that to me, but I'm a pro at this. I'm a veteran. People don't understand us veterans. We don't give a shit. Like we know, a lot of times, uh, a lot of times in conflict, the person who's willing to go further is going to be better, or is going to end up better, right? Oh yeah, yeah, they're watching. They are watching. That's okay though. That is okay. Um, a special hello to all those watching on X. Thank you for being here. A lot of them are, well, they're watching through Patriot 911 News. And I've been growing a lot of fans on TikTok. I'm at like 750 on TikTok, so it won't be long and we'll be broadcasting there as well. So that will be fun. Um, but yeah, and the thing is, like, you guys have to know, we've been planning for Iran for 47 years. Every every formal school in the military that I went to, where we were looking at actual military skills, like various courses and stuff, they would do we would do an exercise at the end, a tabletop exercise, where we would be doing an amphibious invasion. I'm trying to think, like uh, a prolonged war in a country, and we'd get these maps of the fake country, and they'd sometimes give it some crazy name, but we'd get the fake country with maps of cities with all different names, and yeah, that map was always Iran. Every single time. It was just Iran with different names on it, like Adamstown instead of Tehran, and stuff like that. So yeah, we have been studying this for quite some time. Quite some time. We were always preparing for this. Um, I had someone say, "Oh, we should do China next," and I'm like, "That would be stupid. That would be stupid. Incredibly stupid." Um, One, I don't see the need for it, and two, um, I don't think we're in a strong position to do that. Um, and honestly, China's got enough problems. Their economy is tanking. It is tanking. So I think China is going to have its own issues. Um, it is interesting. China and Vietnam went to war in 1980, and Vietnam kicked the shit out of them. Like, it was less than 30 days. They beat them the hell back. So another good case study to look at. Um, you know, that's one thing that's funny. People are like, "Oh, Vietnam kicked our ass." Not necessarily. Like, it was a pretty good look at a superpower fighting a smaller country. The problem is we supporting South Vietnam was not a strength. Like, they were not doing things to win over the people. Um, whereas North Vietnam was. And um, South Vietnam didn't fall with U.S. troops leaving. It fell the moment U.S. support stopped, which showed you that they were completely and totally reliant upon our military and financial support, which was never going to be long term sustainable. So there you go. But yeah, but Vietnam, you know, pretty stable country today. You want things cheap, you can go to Vietnam and get them super cheap. I really want to visit. Working on it. You know what's funny is the problem is taking time off, going overseas and taking time off. That is the big problem. Now weekend trips here in the U.S. That can be done, no problem. Got a couple minutes left here, about another 5 minutes. Anything you guys want to discuss? There will be meltdowns after tomorrow, uh, because of the Jeremy Hales, or after today, because the Jeremy Hales court case. I definitely predict that. And remember, I said nothing would happen in the federal case. I said this in June or July. I said nothing would happen until April, and I still could be wrong. If I'm wrong, it's not going to be that something happens earlier. It's going to be something happens. It gets delayed later, and we're coming up on 2 years for that case. That's okay. You can delay all you want. I did laugh. Oh, we had one of the haters who was who who's out there trying to dox Georgie. I did laugh about that. And oh yeah, that individual runs a Discord where they share information and whatnot, and it's okay. George, like me and Georgie talked about it yesterday. They're just digging themselves a hole. None of these people, like, do they not realize by coordinating their harassment, they're creating a conspiracy? And it's going to be real easy to subpoena all the records from that Discord server. Think you think Discord is going to say no? They're going to be like, "Oh, the court case, yeah, here you go. Here's everything." And the fact that you're in another country is not gonna help you. Sorry. There's a reason why Skipper doesn't have a, like, I have stuff, but it's all publicly, like, available. I'll say that. Like, none of my stuff is secret. You guys know about my groups. Literally, I've got links to them in the description of this video. There's a reason I don't hide anything. Who I am in DM is exactly who I am publicly. Right? Right, Hellhound? Um, but all it's gonna take is one of these dummies, and that's the thing. That's why I don't work with a lot of people on some of this stuff. Praying for things to go well. I think they will. That's why I don't work with people on a lot of these things, because when you're working together and that person goes far off the deep end, um, it does hurt you. Look at Megan Fox. Um, Volpe going off the deep end, she's had to talk about that publicly. Now, I believe everything that she says, but there are people who would be like, "Oh, I don't trust Megan Fox. She did stuff with Volpe," and I totally get it. Totally get it. That you do take a risk when you work with other people like that, especially in investigative journalism. Um, but The good thing is she wasn't actively working with Volpe when he went off the deep end. Oh, I'm looking. It's time, guys. I got to get going. I got to get into work. I will be around if you guys need me. You can text me. Numbers down below. You can email me. Yeah. Oh, me too, Hellhound. Me too. But yeah, you can text me. You can email me. And yeah, if you're one of my friends on Facebook, you can DM me. All right, guys. I'm gonna get going, and